Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to explore something really fundamental, how computers learn to communicate. And we'll do it by looking at one of the simplest but most powerful ideas in all of programming. We'll just keep it calm and super clear.
You know that moment, right? You open an app, you log into a website, and it says something like, "Hello, Chris." It feels like this little piece of digital magic. But how does it actually do that?
Well, that little bit of magic, it's built on an idea that's actually one of the most basic and easy to understand concepts in coding. Seriously, it's not complex or scary at all. It's something we can all totally get. So, okay, let's dive in.
We're going to start with what I like to call the art of joining text. You can just think of it as teaching a computer how to build sentences, one little piece at a time. This right here, this is the core idea that makes those personalized greetings even possible. First things first, we need to know what programmers call text. They call it a string. And a string can be anything, a single letter, one word, a whole sentence, you name it. If it's text, in the world of code, it's a string. It's that simple. Now, the actual act of joining these strings together has this kind of fancy name, concatenation. It sounds complicated, but all it means is linking things together, end to end. I mean, imagine you have two paper clips. When you link them together to make a little chain, that's concatenation. We're just doing that same exact thing, but with words instead of paper clips. And here's what that looks like in practice. See on the left, we've got two totally separate strings, one variable holding the word hello and another one holding world. Then, when we concatenate them, look at the right. They become one single brand new string, hello world. Just like that, we've taught the computer to connect two ideas.
So, to make this happen, we use a special symbol, which is called an operator. In a language like JavaScript, which, powers pretty much the entire interactive web, programmers just use the good old plus sign. So when you see a plus sign between two pieces of text in JavaScript, it's not doing math. It's acting more like glue, just sticking them together.
But here's where it gets kind of cool. Other big languages like PHP or Perl, they solve the exact same problem, but with a different symbol, a dot. This is actually a perfect example of a really important idea in programming. Different languages might have different grammar, different dialects, but they often share the same core concepts. The symbol changes, but the idea of joining text, that stays exactly the same.
Okay, let's move on to our next idea, because this is where it starts to build. Sometimes you don't really want to create a whole new string from scratch. You just want to add a little something to a string you've already got. And for that, there are some really handy shortcuts. Let's just walk through this one. So, in step 1, we start with a variable that holds the text, "have a nice." Then, in step 2, we use a shortcut operator. In this case, it's a dot equals to just tack on the word day directly onto the end of what we already have. And step 3, you see the result. Our original variable is now updated to "have a nice day." It's just a really efficient way to build a message piece by piece. Joining text together is super powerful for sure, but it's really just the beginning. Once a computer understands that text is a string, we can give it a whole toolbox of other commands to work with that text. So let's take a quick peek at what else is in that toolbox. Yeah, think of it like a workshop for words. You can ask the computer to find the length of a string, kind of like a tape measure. You can use a tool to shout everything in all caps, or use another tool that acts like scissors to split a sentence into individual words. You can even search for the exact spot where a certain word begins. Each one of these is just a different, powerful tool for working with text. So we've looked at what these string operators are and a little bit of what they can do, but let's kind of pull back for a second and think about why this really matters. What's the big picture here?
It really just boils down to this. At its heart, working with text in code is all about 3 basic moves: joining it, splitting it, and searching through it. Pretty much everything you could ever want to do with text, from showing a tweet on a screen to analyzing a book, it's all just some combination of those 3 things.
So the real takeaway here isn't about memorizing that JavaScript uses a plus sign and PHP uses a dot. Instead, try to see this whole concept as a creative tool. It's like someone handing you a pen or a paintbrush. It's a tool for building messages, for creating experiences, and really for communicating. And that just leaves us with a final, quiet question to think about. If you had these tools right in front of you, right now, what would be the very first message you'd teach a computer to build? Thanks so much for joining me for this little explainer.